Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Bank Phillies podcast. I'm your host, Pete, who is officially back, along with my co-host, Henry. What is up, my guy?
Good to have you back.
Dog, it's good to be back, man.
Trying to do my best on those two solos, but,
Hey, man, shout out to yo. Round of applause, everybody out there for Henry, man. He did a good job. Let's be honest. He did a good job, man. He did what he had to do.
There's a lot. It was tougher than I thought it was going to be, to be honest.
Hey, I mean,
I was sitting there, I'm like, how am I going to talk to myself for 25 minutes,
It's like I got to think of something to say.
Oh, my gosh,
You know, keep it going or whatever. Yeah, man, it's good to be back. Had a week vacation in Florida. Got some tan. You know what I'm saying? Enjoyed the weather and stuff like that.
It must be nice to tan because I don't. I got burnt at the game today, dude. It was like 150 degrees.
Dude, this heat wave is crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous, but hey, at least they're winning. You know what I'm saying? They're making it worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, except for on, Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Thank God I was on the flight home. I didn't have to watch that or listen to it or whatever because I was like, you know what? Listen, if I get off this plane and they lost, I'm gonna be mad. Yes, but at least I didn't have to suffer through it. At least, I was able to catch
It was bad.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's bad.
So yeah, let's get right into it. So the Diamondbacks series ended up being good for us. We won the series the last two games. But
wish we did it in October, but whatever.
Yeah, that's yeah. We don't talk about that. But so let's shoot back to Friday night's game. First off, we'll talk about Cole Hamels' retirement night. It was pretty emotional, man. I mean, listening to his speech. So
it was tough for me because I used to hate Cole Hamels. I always thought he was just cocky or whatever.
Yeah.
But the more you look at like what he did for the team, and I was younger back then, of course.
Yeah.
So like I never really fully grasped like what he did for that team.
Yeah.
And it's just like it was crazy, man. Like
yeah.
And just the way it started to the way it ended, like it was just his speech was perfect. His speech was absolutely perfect. I liked it. I liked that they had it on the radio too. I got to listen to it on the radio, so I didn't have to watch it.
Yeah, it was great. Obviously he did a lot for the team. World Series MVP back in 2008. The guy was just he did his job, man, and he was fearless, dog. I mean, I saw something they were talking about. I forget what it was, but I mean, the guy was always locked in. Like it was just like it seemed like he just went out there, did his job, and did whatever he could to get the win. And like you said, being younger, whatever, I was in the same situation. So like I was kind of, I was a fan of him or whatever, but it's just like there was other guys on the team that were like a big fan favorites as well. And I feel like Hamels was a little like hidden behind everybody. Like it was like
he was.
People knew about him or whatever, and he was like very underrated.
Yeah, and the thing, it wasn't even that he was like underrated per se. It was just like it's kind of like Nola now, where like he can have 10 good starts, have a bad 2 starts, and everybody's gonna be like, "Well, those 2 starts, he's obviously not a good pitcher." It's like that doesn't. They did the same thing to Cole Hamels, so it's like, I have nothing for those kind of people, even though I'm hard on Nola, but
it was good, and like you said, the speech was good. He threw in the Mets comment in there, which was great.
That was awesome.
It's great. It's great. Awesome. Come on now. But yeah, so it was a good pregame thing, and then the game itself was not great. Not great.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not at all. And if you saw how it ended, I'm sure you would have been more frustrated. I'm sure you've seen it at some point now.
Yeah.
But like, should have been a man on base when Castellanos hit that home run. There wasn't.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's just rough. And I didn't think this series would mean anything to me, but I was very wrong. I was very, very wrong. Because, like, just hearing their names, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, it's just
like they were announcing the lineups, and I was just like, I hate those guys, man. Oh. And then John Kruk was up there in the Apple TV booth with a dress shirt and no hat on, and he looked miserable. They had Cole Hamels in the booth. Dude, he looked miserable. He didn't want to be there.
Good old Kruk. Yeah, dude, I honestly going into the series, and I think I forget what day, it might have been Thursday when I sent you the post that MLB put on there, because they were like reliving when they like closed out Game 7 and it was like the final catch, and I'm just like, why? I was like, Why did they remind me of that before the series starts? Like, I don't get it. It
I
was just
think
like,
that's the kind of stuff that like because I've seen it in the past like week, and I'm just
yeah,
like I'm disgusted. Like I texted you or I messaged you and I said I could have went my entire life without seeing that again.
yeah, same here.
Jake Cave at the plate.
But I mean, I guess you could say the only bright spots of this game was Turner and Castellanos homered. It seems like Turner's starting to kind of get more settled in as we go by since he's gotten back and stuff like that. Which
He's
is
still
good.
hitting.
Yeah,
he's still hitting. He was on fire when he left, but he's still hitting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
So there's, I feel like
Castellanos is
he's
as shaky as can be.
Hey. I mean, listen, he's
Who knows what's
going
to happen next week?
Who knows?
I mean, what time is it, for God's sake? Like,
man. So yeah, that was a not a great game that night. Of course, it spoiled the Cole Hamels retirement night, and it's like,
oh yeah,
well,
yeah. I mean, do you remember like who was on that team with the no hitter?
Yeah, I remember like vividly, kind of like some players on there.
Abdul was in center. Cody Ashley was playing.
Yikes!
Yeah, dude, it's just not a good situation. And for God's sake, Abdul Herrera slipped on his own 2 feet, trying to catch the ball on the track.
Yeah,
but still somehow caught it.
Hey man, at least hey, he went out with a bang, I guess. So
yeah, it's just.
Yeah, so unfortunate loss on that night, but we move into second game on Saturday, and I mean the Bats, they weren't quiet at all, man. I mean they won 12-1. I mean, my goodness.
I was afraid they were gonna run out of runs for today. I know it's not very like dad-like of me, but like oh, save some runs for tomorrow.
Yeah,
but like the way they are, they'll score 12 runs, and the next day they'll be shut out. So
exactly.
I was very impressed with how much they didn't let. Like, they just got on them early. Like, it's simple as that. They got on them early. They were seeing pitches really well. They got the starter out of there, went right into the bullpen. That was it.
Oh,
if Torey Lovullo keeps crying, I mean, maybe somebody will give him a baby bottle or something, because it's getting unbelievable, man. He was crying on Saturday night about whatever. Like, dude, all right. That's why you're putting a position player in who threw 41 miles an hour. Like, give me a break.
Dude, and Harper's homer, I mean, I landed second deck, bro. I was like, holy crap. Dude, it was great.
Was at a family party, and I went, whoa! One of my cousins was like, all right, dramatic. I was like, I've never done that watching TV before.
Yeah.
But that was unbelievable. Like, the only time I ever did that was when he hit the grand slam the day that they had the Vegas connection.
When
it was him, and then the kid was praying. Remember, we were at work.
Yep.
And that happened. And it was like, oh, thank God. But
yeah,
no, that was, dude, it was a bomb.
It was crazy. And I mean, and Wheeler pitched a good game, and bouncing back from that game he had against Baltimore where he just got absolutely obliterated. I mean, it's good to have a bounce back game like that.
Right. Yeah, and that was, I think, what he needed. Was Marchand catching Saturday? He wasn't, right?
No, he was.
Oh, he was. Well, this gives stuff to Stubbs and Wheeler conversation or whatever. But whatever. I can't stand that. I can't stand it. It's so annoying. That's like one of the things that drives me nuts. Like,
people stress too much about it, bro. It's like, all right.
Yeah, like all right, man. Like, it's not going to affect him. It'll affect him a lot, but like, let's be honest. They wouldn't have re-signed him if our best pitcher didn't know how to pitch to him in a tight spot.
Well, and I mean, and obviously you could say like, oh, if they're winning games, doesn't matter. Which, I mean, it does matter. I understand the arguments and the points that people are making, but listen, they're going to eventually build chemistry enough to be able to get on the same track. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially with Marchand, like, being new to the team this year and stuff like that. Obviously, Stubbs has been around, whatever. But like, for a young player like Marchand, it's like, listen, he just got to build some chemistry, be on the same page with Wheeler, and they'll be okay. I mean, as long as they're communicating well, that's all that matters, man.
Right, exactly. It just frustrates me. But I mean, like you said, the bats came alive. David Dahl hit a 2-run home run off a precision player. Yeah, David Dahl and I believe it was like Barnes something. I don't know what his last name was, but they knew each other. And when he took him deep, off a 41-mile-an-hour pitch, he's like, "Oh yeah, thanks for sitting on it," or whatever he said. So It's just funny. I mean, they were already down 10-1 at that point.
Yeah, it's like all right.
Cassidy went deep again that game.
Hey man,
He's taking his equipment off.
that was great. That was great
before he even started rounding the bases. He's something else, man. I don't know what to make of him right now. He seems to be doing all right, but like, I don't want to get my hopes up.
Yeah,
but like that would be awesome. Like if they got him clicking,
dude. I mean,
he hits better in the heat anyway. I feel.
Oh yeah, and then guys like Stott had a good game today, which we'll talk about. But I mean, these type of guys at the bottom of the lineup a little bit, like it's just like we're gonna need them, especially now with Turner back.
That's what wins you World Series.
Oh yeah,
not the top 4; it's the bottom 5.
Yeah,
that's what wins championships.
Exactly.
And again, a boring thing to say, but it's true.
It was funny. I was watching the beginning of this game or whatever, and then like I fell asleep. I was so tired, and it was just I woke up and it was just like the score was like, the game was over by then, and I looked at the score. I was like, damn. I was like, hey, I was like, they got it. I was like, they needed that win, so thank God.
Your man Hoffman almost crapped the bed.
Oh, today?
Yeah. You didn't watch it. I was wondering why you weren't texting me during the game.
All right, let's get into today's game. So we got the 4-1 win. Sanchez pitched amazing, especially after getting that extension that he got a couple days ago, which was
congrats to him.
Deserving. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's huge for us. And I mean, they're working on getting some done for Suarez too, which we've heard rumors about, and guys like Hoffman.
And Dave Dombrowski does not talk about contract negotiations. So people who are like looking into it, being like, "Well, he's not talking about it. Must not be going well." He never talks about contract negotiations. He never talked about Nola. He never talked about anything. He's still not talking about the whole Bryce thing. He's not talking about any of it. So don't read too much into that.
Yeah, exactly. Don't stress over it.
Right.
So yeah, towards the end of the game, I was in the pool actually, and I was trying to watch the game from like far away in my dad's bar, and it was like I could see like what was going on. I could see the Diamondbacks were kind of like getting some hits, and I'm like, what's going on over there? I'm like, should I even go over there, or should I just stay back here and just hope good things happen? But I guess Hoffman's struggling a little bit, but it happens. It happens.
Gabby was next to me after getting done work. I don't know how those workers do it in that heat, by the way.
Oh, dude, I couldn't even imagine.
Dude, all week it was like 95 plus. It's like, that's insane.
Yeah.
But she was like, is he trying to give the game away? I was like, I hope not. Like, I was like, it's getting rough, though. I was like, let's stop getting cute with this,
Yeah, let's just end the game. How about that?
Yeah, please. Yeah. Well, there's multiple times when we're up like 4 runs, and I text you after like a couple of hits, and I'm like, okay, let's just get it done.
Yeah.
We've been on the receiving end of too many of those bad losses.
Oh yeah, and listen, at least Soto wasn't in because I mean it could have got a lot worse. It could have been worse.
Yeah, well,
you know how he gets. So
yeah, God forbid he inherits 1 million runners. He is not. He's not a very good pitcher, though.
Nah,
my defending of him is a little bit over at this point.
But yeah, so good win today. They won the series. I mean, like that's a big series win right there. I mean, I get it. Arizona's hurt, or whatever, and they've been hovering around.
They're not really that hurt though.
I've seen people say that. Well, certain players are hurt, and I'm like, well, I guess.
So is everybody.
Yeah.
We don't have our all-star catcher. What's your point?
True.
I hate that, dude. I hate that. I hate that it's like, oh, well, we weren't healthy. Guess what? Nobody at this point in the season is fully healthy. No team. We just had Trey Turner and JT out at the same time. You didn't see me going, well, they were a depleted Phillies squad that the Orioles beat. No, they beat us fair and square.
Yeah.
I hate that.
And their manager just kept whining, complaining today.
Yeah,
like you were saying earlier.
Got tossed,
dude. I mean, I can't stand. I texted you. I said I can't stand that guy. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Shut up. Like Jordan Montgomery was in. I think that was game 1, right? Yeah, it was game 1.
Yeah,
he was violating the pitch clock constantly to the point where even by the end of the first inning, Phillies fans were chanting the countdown clock, the pitch clock, because he was violating it and they wouldn't call it.
Yeah.
He violated like 3 times in the first inning. Yeah.
You
weren't complaining then. All of a sudden, now that it affects you, you're complaining. Get the hell out of here, dude. I hate that guy.
Yeah, there is no
Dude,
love
I
for
hate that
the
guy.
Diamondbacks.
I will never give the Diamondbacks any kind of slack or nothing. I
Nope.
can't stand them. It's done. Done.
So let's get into that real quick. Let's talk
Yeah.
about Mr. Taiwan Walker, who went on the IL, which I Phantom IL.
Mysterious.
Dude, he is just terrible. And you know what? I obviously everybody's gonna say, "Oh, what about that take you had with Paul Skeens?" Listen, that was taken way out of context. Okay, listen, I understand. Listen, I will never. Taiwan is terrible. I know. I know. Let me take a step back on that. Okay, it was
Thank
just
God.
it was the emotions of the moment. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's just
Meanwhile, Paul Skeens has pitched 47 innings and only allowed 38 hits. So
whatever. I mean,
good on you.
yeah, good on me, I guess. Whatever. But yeah, so he's been put on the 15-day IL with some type of blister or whatever they has on his finger, and that was the reason. Oh, he can't throw a splitter and blah blah
His
blah. And it's
splitters
like, all
sucked
right,
all season.
that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Like, what do you like? What do you mean? Nothing has been good at all for you, dog. Since
It's
you
so
got back.
annoying. And then he kept throwing the splitter. That's why he gave up all the home runs. I don't get it. Why do they it's the money.
Yeah, it is. It
I
is.
wish money didn't get in the way, but that's what it is.
I mean,
It
they can
has
just
to be.
bite the bullet and then just
Cut him? Yeah.
yeah.
He's got to go. And it's not even like trying to be like funny or for bits anymore. Like he
No, I know.
sucks. He sucks. He's so bad. He doesn't
And,
belong on a major league mound.
and then in the post game, he's like, "I got to clean it up." I know. It's like, okay,
Yeah, he's like, oh, I got to clean up my
do it.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So, well, what happened 2 starts ago when you gave up 8 runs and you were like, "It's the best I've felt all year," or whatever it was, however many
Yeah.
starts ago that was.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
It's like, you sure about that, buddy?
Constant.
I was sitting there. I'm like, there's no way he's giving up this many home run right now. Like, there's
Well, he
just
gave
no
up the
way.
first one, and I was behind. So you were like, "Get this guy off the mound." I'm like, "Well, it's 1 home run. Let's calm down." And then Jock Peterson, who what an asshole.
Dude.
He put his ear up to the crowd as if they were booing him. They were booing the guy that was on the mound. Fun fact, pal. And now every time he comes to the plate, they keep booing him.
There you go. Listen, you were asking for it, bro.
And he faked that signing to Philly this offseason. Remember that?
Yeah, that was so weird. That was weird
my
behavior. I can't lie.
Yeah.
And then he said something about it, saying like, "Oh, well, like I posted because Dancing on My Own was like my favorite song, or I like the song, or something like that." I'm like, dude, what? That makes no sense.
Shut up.
Dude, I was like, all right, bro.
Somebody
whatever.
said it was because the 49ers beat the Eagles, and he's a 49ers fan or something. I was like, dude, who cares? I was like, who cares? Honestly, like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I stay out of my football life, please. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want you anybody. Like, don't, especially not near the signing time. Like, please, man. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is serious stuff, man.
aggravating. Yeah, it's serious stuff. Like, don't. Yeah.
So, with Taiwan being hurt, they announced that Turnbull will be back in the rotation and he'll get his start against his former team, the Tigers, this week.
Dude,
So listen,
he's not hurt.
He's not, but it's deserving for Turnbull because he's the better pitcher right now. So,
but let me ask you this: do you think they screwed themselves by pulling him in the first place? Because he doesn't look the same as he did.
Yeah,
he doesn't look bad, but he doesn't look the same like he did.
True. I mean, dude. I mean, that's the result that they were going to get with making that decision. Everybody knew it was going to happen. It didn't take a scientist to figure that out. So I mean, hey, listen. Hopefully, now he's back in rotation.
Detrimental.
Yeah, I know, but who knows? Maybe he can get back on track now. A different schedule now, knowing he'll be in the rotation, that he'll get back on track. So, all right, it is time to get into Philly of the week. So, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Nick Castellanos.
Mm-hmm.
He's got this is just the last 14 days. This is the last 12 games.
Yeah.
5 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. All right, he's hitting 275. Not terrible. But the last 7 days he's hitting 417. So that's really what you want to go off of. But he's been coming up clutch. I mean, he's got the walk-off hits. Like I talked about him in the series review before. He had the nice walk-off. He had a couple good home runs this weekend. So I think he's starting to come around. As many jokes as I make, I think he's starting to come around. So he's my Philly of the week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna agree with you right there because that was my Philly of the week as well. Castellanos, because I was gonna say Sanchez because he's been stepping up a little bit lately, but I got to give the nod to Castellanos just because of how much he's heating up. Just seeing him try and get back in the rhythm and stuff like that is great. The walk off against the Padres, I mean that was awesome. I mean that's just those moments are great, and then it's like with him, just standing there with his arms out, waiting for everybody
Yeah,
to,
waiting for everybody to get there. Yeah,
yeah, and it's just like
that's
it's
cool.
great. And when he's on and his attitude is good, it's like that's great, especially for the clubhouse. You know what I'm saying, for the guys. So,
But the thing about him is when his attitude's a little off, it doesn't
mhm.
affect the rest of the clubhouse.
No, not at all.
Like you see guys that are in his position throughout sports in general, when they're miserable, they make everybody miserable. And he's not like that.
No.
Because he's like, I have to fix my stuff. They're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So, which I think is
Exactly.
pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and yeah, man. I mean, it's just he's been hitting, and if he can stay consistent, that would be just amazing. We talked about it earlier. It'd be great,
Yeah.
especially
It's
for
a
the bottom of the lineup.
consistency problem.
Oh, yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
And I like him in the 6 hole rather than the 2.
Oh
I know
yeah,
the
I
2
mean,
was
well,
kind of out of necessity,
yeah,
but I like him in the 6 hole.
for sure. Do you need a new Philly sports t-shirt? Want to rep more Phillies apparel? Philly Goat is your way to go, and you can use the code BTBPOD for 10% off your next order. Beyond the Bank is proud to be an affiliate with Philly Goat. As always, go Phils. All right, we are back after Henry had to go close his windows in his truck
Oh
in
my
his pouring
gosh.
rain.
I had to do an outfit change, dude. That was terrible. That was terrible. It's been
So let's get in.
downpouring like half the day, and it's like, yeah, just puddles in there, man. I'm sure.
All right, let's get into some around the league news. So what you got?
So I don't know if everybody heard. I was trying to reference it in the last 2 episodes.
Mm,
Willie Mays passed away at the
yep.
age of 93, and I mean, just to list some of his stats:
Mm-hmm.
339 stolen bases, 2,068 runs, 1,909 RBI, 660 home runs, and he batted 301 for his career.
Wow.
He's a 24-time All-Star, a 12-time Gold Glove winner. He's got a batting title, 2 MVPs. Like, it's unbelievable what this guy did. He's, in my opinion, after all that, and he, not to mention how he was off the field, in my opinion, after all that, he's the best player ever. He's the
Really?
best baseball player ever, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
don't know who else could pass him.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. He was definitely a big player in the league for a long time. Obviously way before our time, but
Yeah.
you see highlights and stuff like that, and his
The
playing ability
catch
was
and
great. Yeah, the catch he had in the World Series. He won a World Series, and
well, he has all those RBIs and everything, and the
mhm,
home runs or whatever.
yep,
It was 480 to dead center where he played. Like, that's
unbelievable.
unbelievable, man. Like,
When you really think about it,
crazy.
it's crazy.
Like when you really think about that kind of stuff, it's like unbelievable.
Yeah,
Like, man, it's like that's the kind of stuff that gets watered down. I feel like in
oh yeah,
today's game, it's like they want everything to be a home run or whatever. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it's like,
yeah,
I mean, playing at like Polo Grounds and places like that, like that's crazy, man. It's
yeah.
crazy.
That stuff's insane. Some crazy news regarding suspension. Another one. This time, not for gambling.
I was
But
shocked.
for
When I
yeah.
read the headline, I was like, this is surely gambling.
So listen to this. The beginning of this article. So it says on Friday night, Blue Jays #2 prospect Orelvis Martinez fulfilled a lifelong dream by recording his first MLB hit in his debut against the Guardians. On Sunday, he received an 80-game suspension after testing positive for performance-enhancing substance.
Wow.
Like, dude,
That's
that
crazy,
headline is
man.
insane.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
It is.
That's unfortunate. But I mean, I know there's a lot going around about that suspension because it seemed like it was a fertility pill and it had something in it that just happens to be banned. It's not like enhancing his performance, but anything that violates their policy is considered performance enhancing. That's what it's going to be listed as.
Yeah.
But that's a tough one, man.
Yeah, I mean,
80 games. And being number 2 prospect in a system is like, that's tough.
It's bad, man. It's just a lot of these players getting suspended nowadays. Pete,
anything.
Performance enhancing stuff is like, it's, obviously been around a lot, a lot of years.
Zero tolerance policy on that stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly. But stuff with the gambling and stuff like that, it's just like,
yeah,
it sucks. It sucks to see, man.
Oh, it does. It does. It's like good players that are trying to, yeah.
It's unfortunate.
It's a shame. Switch over to Pete's picks. What you got?
All right, so let's see. So tomorrow we start a 3-game series with Detroit in Detroit. I think we have Nola is on the mound tomorrow. I think they win tomorrow. I'm gonna say they take 2 out of 3 from Detroit. I think Detroit will probably get us on one. Detroit's a sneaky team. I feel like you don't know really what to expect. I mean, they can go out there and compete, or they can really just like lay down and it's like, all right, we just destroy them, whatever. But I think we take 2 out of 3 from them, and then on Thursday we go back home and start a 4-game series with Miami. We know how Miami is when we play them; they can be a little annoying. But I think we can sweep Miami. To be honest with you, if we just stay on our game, we don't let them hang around and handle our business, I say we sweep Miami. So those are my picks for the week.
I'm curious to see how the Detroit series goes because Turnbull's pitching on Wednesday.
Yep.
So it's against his old team and everything. I'm curious to see how that goes.
Yeah.
And in Miami, I'm not.
Yeah. But like I said, Miami can get weird, man. I don't know. They just
I'm never worried about them until they beat us, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, man.
It's like, all right.
I'm only worried about them for that week, like that part of the schedule too. Like I'm never worried about them taking the division or nothing. Yeah. It's just like, come on, like.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. We need to start, making sure we're winning series, we're winning games,
consistency.
Consistency
is key.
And with the Braves, listen, they're still a good team, and they're going to make it tough, you know what I'm saying, throughout the rest of the season.
It was never going to be easy.
No, it was never going to.
Of course, Joe Giglio had to say that the NL East was over and everything else. So thanks, Joe.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for, putting a target on our back.
I know there's still time left in the season, and I know there's games to play, but it's over. Thanks, man.
It's like, dude, just be quiet for like.
Please, just shut up.
Just, oh my God.
5 seconds. Like.
It's like you see that lead in the vision. It starts like go down a little bit, and you're like, all right, let's not do this, bro. And it's like, all right, come on now, like just be consistent.
It's gonna be an interesting second half of the season.
It is. It's gonna be awesome. And dude, I see some people. You think we're gonna get Luis Robert?
No.
What do you think?
I hope not.
I don't know, man.
I hope not. Would you trade? How about this? Would you trade Painter for Luis Robert?
Man,
don't.
It's tough. I'm 50-50, dog.
Why?
Dude, these are the type of moves that could possibly win you a World Series. And I know it can backfire. I know it can backfire.
Never healthy.
I understand that, and I've said that before. I completely understand that point. But, dude, I started to look at it, I'm like, this might make sense, man. Because I look at it from a lineup standpoint, right? You put Luis Robert behind Harper, and you shift that lineup, players down, whatever in the lineup, and it's like, dude, that could be huge for us if he stays healthy.
That's ridiculous. I don't see it.
But it's not just gonna be Painter though. There's gonna be other.
That's my point. It's like, oh, man.
Best we can do is Taiwan Walker.
Yeah. Taiwan Walker and Gregory Soto, or nothing.
And just to be nice, we'll throw in David Dahl. Why not?
Yeah, known all-star David Dahl. Yeah.
Oh man, that would never happen, man. I don't know what I would say.
I would call the police because they would be robbed.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, just stay consistent, keep winning. So yeah, as per usual, audio listeners, keep hitting that download button. Rate us. We appreciate it. Keep listening. YouTube, as always, subscribe if you haven't so far. Comment, like, let us know how we do.
All right, go Phils.
Go Phils. Out of here.